One of the interesting questions we had this week, it's a simple question, and I got to show you the complexity of how Congress really mucked up the bankruptcy laws when they changed them back in 2005. So I appreciate it. I'm not going to say the person's name, but the question is very simple. Can I purchase a car prior to filing bankruptcy? Of course you can. You can buy a car anytime you want. I can't tell you not to buy a car. I cannot tell you to incur new debt if you're contemplating bankruptcy. But if you need a car, you got to buy one. You don't need my permission or anybody else's. But Congress specifically set forth in the bankruptcy code that I, as an attorney, cannot advise you to incur new debt before you file bankruptcy. But if you sit there and ask me the question, I'm going to fire it back at you. Do you need a new car? Yes. What can you afford? Can you afford a $300 a month car payment? Can you afford a $200 a month car payment? What can you afford? So it may not be a new car. It's probably going to be a used car. And if a person's sitting with me, I'm hoping that their credit score is still good so that if they do go out and incur new debt, it's going to be there. But I'm going to tell them, Congress says I can't tell you to incur new debt. But if you need a car, you don't need my permission to go buy one. But I don't want you to go out and buy one if you've got 30% interest or something ridiculous. That's just not going to fly in the bankruptcy court. Because don't get me wrong, the bankruptcy trustees are going to ask, why in the world, if you can't afford to pay this, this, or this, did you go out and buy a new car? Well, my car broke down. I had no vehicle to get back and forth to work. If I can't work, I can't pay my bills. I mean, there's a logic behind it, and usually there's an explanation. And all I got to do is ask a few questions to find out the true nature of it. But it seems kind of silly that I am not allowed to tell you to incur new debt. I mean, I can't specifically say, well, you need to do this. If a person knows if they need a new car or not, I don't know what to say about that. It seems kind of silly that Congress says I can't tell you, well, okay, yes, you're in a $1,200 a month house and you want to go rent a place for $900. Okay, but I can't tell you to incur new debt. But doesn't it make sense that if you're going to walk away from a house, you're going to go down or downsize so that you'd have some available cash because it was choking you before? But I can't tell you to incur new debt. Be that as it may, there's a lot more people in Washington who thought through this problem. You can bank on it, and they've come up with a proper solution each and every time. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. And okay, moving on.